See myself on Facebook. There I am on YouTube. Twitch. Oh, and there I am on Twitch. It goes 1, 2, 3. Hey everyone, how's it going? Appreciate y'all being here today. Hello and welcome to Friday afternoon here on twitch.tv/DDOstream, youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live, and Facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. Appreciate y'all being here. I am DDO's community manager, Cordovan, here on a lovely Friday, Good Friday here in Massachusetts. Sunny, warm, flowers are a-bloomin', getting ready for a weekend and have a major XP weekend as well. This is a strength in numbers weekend that kicked off yesterday and continues through Sunday, plus 5% for every member of the party other than yourself. I don't think that includes hirelings, though. Through Sunday. So if you have a full group, you're looking at an additional 25% XP, up to 55% XP for a raid group. There we go. I'm on Orion here. Next week I'm going to be on Sarlona, so this will be my final trek through Orion for a little while here. Hey Renwa, I'm actually a little under the weather, so if I sound a little odd, it's because I've got a migraine. I woke up this morning with a migraine. I don't have a major migraine problem, but usually just a couple times a year I get these migraines, and it's really hurting me today. So if I'm a little quiet, if I'm a little looking like I'm in pain, it's because I have a big migraine right now. I'll be probably heading home a little bit early, but nonetheless, I got some stuff I gotta do today before I can do that, so that's what's going on. Happy weekend birthday to Titan, says in chat here. He's turning 22. It's a good age. It's from all those video games. Maybe. It was also maybe from this glue that I used. I've been re-foaming a speaker at home, and I think the glue there may have caused problems. Actually, I'm not even sure what it is. I woke up, like I said, and I'm just kind of dying here, so I apologize if I'm a little under the weather. But, nonetheless, we are going to continue our trek through Amrath on Orion and see what we can do there. So I guess we should probably do, what, like maybe Genesis Point? For those tech nerds who might be just as nerdy as myself on that sort of thing, just about every Saturday that I can, I do flea marketing and junk store shopping and that. It's one of my, it's just something I really enjoy doing. And last weekend I was at a junk store, or actually I was at a flea market, and I saw a pair of Advent Baby 2 speakers. And those are some really nice kind of bookshelf style speakers. Really nice. Depending on sort of your opinion, some people feel they are audiophile quality. So I went and asked the guy, and I was like, well, how much do you want for these? And the guy was like, oh, they're broken. They need work. So I looked at it, and all it needs is the foam around the edge of the speaker needs to be refoamed. Over time, you know, especially several decades, that foam gets really brittle and just starts to kind of deteriorate, right? And so the guy was just like, oh, it's just, they're broken. I said, well, how much do you want for them? He was like, $10. If you are an audiophile nerd, you'll know that picking up a pair of otherwise pristine and shiny Baby Advent 2s for $10 is a steal. It's an amazing deal. And so I was thrilled. And so this week I ordered online from a place in New Jersey some new foam surrounds for it, and I've been just replacing the surround this week, which is really not that difficult. If I can do it, you can do it. But yeah, so I'm gonna be hooking that up this weekend to my main rig, which is a, you know, it's where I play my PlayStation games, and it's where I've got my vinyl. I am a record nerd. And these will be really killer. They're going to replace my late 80s Bose 301s, which are also pretty nice speakers. But not as good as the Advents. So that is awesome. I was super thrilled to find deals like that. I know, it's nothing to do with DDO. You guys are like, stop being boring. I haven't even talked about Atari games yet. I picked up some really good Atari games during that same trip. It was a killer weekend last weekend for flea marketing. I'm actually having a yard sale on my house Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, assuming I can kick this migraine today. So if you happen to be in the Whitensville area of Massachusetts and you want to buy my stuff, I'll be the guy selling lots of old video games, vinyl records, record players, old movie posters. I have a whole collection of actual Lightbox style movie posters, mostly 90s and up, so nothing too valuable or anything. Probably the most valuable ones I have is I have the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. Oh no! Original Lord of the Rings trilogy. Lightbox posters. That's pretty hot. So anyway, that's what I'm doing this weekend. Otherwise, I'm just going to be doing a lot of this. A lot of DDO, because XP to be had. Oh god, this quest, I keep on forgetting. How do we even do this? Does someone else know what they're doing? Because I sure as heck don't. I know at some point someone's going to need to be up here to get rid of gates. That's about the only thing I remember. I'm very good at piking this quest. I never actually learned how to do it. Or English ports of Japanese rhythm games? Actually, it's pretty funny you mentioned that. I do, yeah. I saw Nintendo's discontinuing the NES Classic. I know, I never got one. I really wanted to get one when they first announced. I saw back when they first announced that thing, I was like, oh my god, that thing is going to be so hot. And apparently the memo didn't get to Nintendo, right? Because nobody could freaking buy one all the way through Christmas. And I was like, well, finally, someday it's just going to be in a store and I'll be able to actually pick one up. Nope. Looks like it's just going to have to be one of those things I give up on. Because I don't support Craigslist scalpers. So unless I ever see one on a store shelf or what have you, guess it's just one of those things that I'm not destined to own. Thankfully, I already have 3 NESs at home. Yes, I am that kind of collectible classic nerd. Okay, so here's how much of a nerd I am when it comes to classic video games. One of the things I'm hoping to do this weekend on my junk store flea marketing is I've got a line on a Magnavox Odyssey 2 that is still complete in its box, along with a list of 5 games that are also still in their box and shrink-wrapped in very pristine condition. So I may well be grooving out to the Magnavox Odyssey 2 sometime this weekend. Wonder how many of you will even be like, the what? The What box? Is that like an Xbox? Yes, but from the 70s. Nice. The boss in Reaper's wicked? Yeah, I bet. Why am I not taking level 20 because I'm XP capped? No particular reason. Because the group I'm in is under level 20, and I don't want to level gate people out of being able to group with me. So, I actually capped out, I guess it was Wednesday, and just haven't taken a level yet. It's on my list of things to do. Next time I'm on Orient, I will be level 20, and I'll probably end up running Evening Star stuff. Work on my Epic Destiny, what have you. I'm pretty well maxed out Thief Acrobat on this character. Originally this guy was an assassin back in the day, and I really like playing an assassin, but I'm actually going to be TRing someone on Thelanis and make that character an assassin. That character is currently a favored soul rogue, and I'm going to TR him into an assassin for now, because eventually I'm going to probably TR him into a cleric, because there's a pretty good chance. Oh yeah, this part. Yeah, is someone staying up here to help with the boxes or not? Or am I wrong? It's this part, right? So we've already done this, right? Yeah, here we go. Alright, so take the portal to the lower level.
Judging by the barrels and crates, this must be the shipment staging area for Genesis.
Anyway, so I have a feeling we are pretty close. I think this summer. I don't want to speak for the dev team. It's not going to be released until it's ready. It may not be ready. I may be completely optimistic here. But I think we're going to have our cleric, quote, pass ready for Ravenloft. And if that's true, I want to have my cleric get his third life as a cleric. But the guy's ready to TR now, and I don't want to hang up the rest of the static group because, you know, I'm waiting for the cleric pass. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is TRing this character into an assassin, because I've been wanting to play an assassin again, and then that's going to be hit level 20, and then rather than go all the way up to 30 and do an ERTR, I'm just going to, by that point, be probably around the time that we're doing our cleric update, at least theoretically. So that's my plan. So because that guy is going to be a... Because that guy is going to be an assassin, I'm going to keep this guy as a Thief Acrobat. Oops. Remnants.
Devils appear to have some larger plan for sending magically wild you suspect this war.
I actually have liked the Thief Acrobat a lot more than I really expected. I sort of just did it for funsies after we had done the Rogue Pass a while back, and I was like, well, Thief Acrobat was always kind of a second tier, so to speak, or someone I never really gave much thought of. So let's just give it a shot. And I've actually been really enjoying playing a Thief Acrobat. As a matter of fact, it reminds me. I have spinning staff wall now. Possibility of cleric spell domains? Could be. If we do a cleric pass, can we look at the word of recall? I don't know. I mean, yeah, you're right. Word of recall is kind of not great. But I think given limited time and resources, it's just, I don't know that it really matters that much compared to, say, domains, perhaps, or some other things that might be more valuable to do. But yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea. But I'll take domains over an improved word of recall any day. Can I explain what the soul part of a champ is? So that was a lore consideration with trying to make champions have some lore sense. So what it is they're being affected by sort of what the work that's being done with mysterious remnants. I can't remember what that is now.
By freeing the prisoners, you have embarrassed the devil leaders and spared a few souls from the torments of their dungeons.
So what it is they're basically getting their extra powers from a connection to these various souls here, right? So. Rick, what are you guys doing? Come back here. Hey, we're ready to do this fight, aren't we? Or am I missing something? Ah, Codex, yes. Codex. There you go.
Pull them. You know, the bottom row and then pull to the top.
Word. If it does come out with Ravenloft, hopefully Turn Undead gets buffed to match the new Undead content. It's almost like that might be part of the motivating factor. And I think we would probably be doing Favored Soul as well. Although honestly, Favored Soul aren't perhaps in as bad a place as Cleric. They need some work. Particularly, what, a third tree? Second tree? Better tree? So I do think we'll see some Favored Soul work too. But more Cleric than Favored Soul work. But yes, I think Turn Undead will absolutely be part of that. Will Otto's box ever be a permanent store item to buy? Probably not. I mean, there's some kind of raw business reasons why it's done the way it is. But additionally, we like that it's not... that is so sometimes rather than an always part of the game. You know, ultimately it's not meant to replace actually playing the game. And if it was a permanent thing in the store, it might sort of make it more of a play style rather than a special occasion thing. So other than just sort of raw business reasons, there's some deliberate scarcity of it too. We don't want it just to be 24/7. The raw business being that it's a bit of a motivator to buy when it's on sale.
By slaying the Devil's elite guard, you've won a small amount of revenge for their invasion of Stormwind.
Joe says over on YouTube, I asked him Wednesday, but can we change the tome conversion to go above +4 or +5? I have a +6 tome I want to convert to Eberron Dragon Shards. Yeah, we should do that. It's going to have to sort of fit into, you know, the overall focus of things. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know, that was designed back at a certain time that just doesn't really make a lot of sense nowadays. So, it's worth doing. I hope a Cleric Pass reduces the enhancement point cost. Their trees are more expensive than most other classes. Is that actually true? I thought all enhancement trees are the same point cost. Someone says, I don't know what this quest is. This is over in Amrath. It's high-level heroic stuff. Genesis Point is the name of the quest. If you've ever been out to Amrath, this is part of the lead-in to the Tower of Despair raid. You have to run this and some other quests, and then also, you don't have to, but you kind of have to, pick up your Boots of Anchoring as well. Someone gets a 4-day weekend starting today. That's nice. Awesome. There was a forum thread about metal properties, adamantine, Bishik, cold iron, and red augment slots not dropping for random gen quarterstaves. Can I investigate that? Yes. I'll have to double check though. I'm pretty sure that on Thelanis I've got one that is adamantine with a red slot. But I couldn't tell you when I picked it up, so that might be relevant info. Oh no! I am a useless rogue. Dum 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 dum. Not just quarterstaves. Now that I know is not true, because just last weekend I picked up a silver Khopesh. Alright, so we must have done something wrong here. What did we do wrong? Is there a lever or something we need to pull? Ah, cool. The gate is open here. Thank you, Chris. So many blade traps. Alright. Okay, peeps, I'll be back in 10. Okay, silver Kopesh with a red slot? Yes! I know, silver Kopesh with a red slot, huh? Isn't that awesome? It actually has led me to probably make a Kopesh wielding character on that character. Or on that server.
The pure, untainted water disrupts the focus, causing it to sputter and fail. The devil's wizards will no longer be able to draw upon the source.
Yeah, I was very excited. I think I pulled it on a fairly low-level quest, too. I think I was running... Oh, crap, what was I running now? It was in Evening Star, and it was one of the normally run epics that I ran on Heroic. Why can't we use gnomes and dwarves as thrown weapons? That's funny. Will Ravenloft quests fall under Gatekeeper, Silver Flame, or a new patron? That's yet to be determined, but I think the current thinking is it'll be a new patron. We may end up changing that, but we'll see. Yeah, stream title's not right. Whatevs. Whatever, man. You're not my dad. Man, it's been a long time since I ran this quest. Yep. I don't know if I actually hit this one or not. Yes, I did. Okay. Alright. We should bring back cursed weapons for Ravenloft. Nah. The thing about cursed weapons is they just... Nobody... I mean... Initially, the plan with cursed weapons is they have a penalty, but it also allows them to bypass... to be a little bit stronger due to it. But the reality was nobody wants to deal with the penalty. So the end result was cursed weapons were essentially vendor trash. Because nobody wanted to have a slightly higher something or other if the corresponding difference was something else that gave them a penalty. People don't tend to play with penalties in DDO very much. So it just never made sense to really do it. Go back, right? Okay. What am I doing? Where am I going? Ah, crap. Crap. I'm lost. No! So... Okay, there's the vial of water. So that means we need to go... Not this way. This here. See, I could have sworn it was that way. Ooh. One of the outer doors should be opened? Okay. Just gotta find my way over there, I guess. Worst case scenario, let's have to do the left-hand path thing. But there we go. Nope. So what am I doing wrong here? Back to here now. Jump this way? No? I've already been here. Okay. Ah, cool. Yay! Pet rock soon? We already have pet rocks. Oh, should I, you mean give out more pet rocks? Yeah, I can do that. So, someone's saying about throwing dwarves and that. It's actually pretty funny you mentioned that, because someone the other day was showing what would happen if you could throw a kobold, and you can use the swim animation, you know, their kind of flailing thing that you see, like, say, in Party Crashers, and they can stick their nose into a wall. And the funny thing about that is it looks like you're chucking a kobold into a wall, they're getting stuck, and then they're flailing around. It's pretty fantastic. But I don't know that we could ever actually get away with doing that in the game. Pretty rad, though. Looking forward to Ravenloft? So say we all. Yes, we are all very much looking forward to Ravenloft. I saw one of the devs actually doing some of the initial setup on the castle this week. We're working, most of the team's working on Update 36, because that's not out yet, and we got some things to do there. But some of the folks are doing what might be considered pre-production on Ravenloft. You know, there are certain dependencies when you're doing this kind of development. And so some of the early dependencies are getting done for Ravenloft, and I got to see kind of some of the initial outer structure of what will probably end up being the castle, and it's looking good, looking real good. Very exciting to see that kind of thing. I always really liked Ravenloft as a kid. My brother is the one who owned the first ed Ravenloft, and so I was always a player rather than a DM. That's the way it works when you have a twin brother, right? Someone DMs, someone's the player. Depends who bought the module. But Yeah, so I played it quite a bit as a kid, and I'm really looking forward to seeing us bring Ravenloft to life later this year. But first, we do have Update 36 to get out, and that's good. That's looking pretty cool too. Oops. I don't think it's actually going to be Stonelands though, but we'll see what happens. He still has that first Ed Ravenloft book, by the way. It's one of the things that got saved from our childhoods. We didn't manage to save the Transformers. The G.I. Joes were long since thrown away. The old Star Wars figures didn't survive, but all of our old D&D stuff made it. Well, not all. Some of the minis, the old Grenadier minis and that just kind of fell apart over time and got mashed. But most of that stuff got saved. Still have my old Gamma World, my old Top Secret, my original box Car Wars, all my old Uncle Albert's catalogs. Basic expert set. My original Greyhawk box set. That's a nice one. Comes with a really killer map. If not Stonelands, are we considering heading out to Arganessen? No, it's still going to be... the plan currently is to stay Forgotten Realms with it, but just maybe do something other than Stonelands. But we'll see. We'll actually probably have more to say about that in the fairly near future. We need to make a code for the pet rocks. Yeah, we probably should. That's a good point. I really haven't given them out other than the anniversary stream. So perhaps I'll put that on my to-do list. Right now, though, all of our key code work has to be done for, say, Mordor keys, Mordor X-Pack keys, things like that. So our key code creation system is a little booked up solid right now. Are we getting an Arty Pass in the next update? I don't know if it's going to be the next update, but it is going to be in the relatively near future. My understanding is we're hoping to both do Cleric, Favored Soul, and Artificer this summer. Of course, that can change based on what ends up actually happening and what have you. But that's the current plan as of today. Pet rocks are not real pet rocks, they're pet frogs with a rock cosmetic. Yeah, basically. You know, they were kind of a joke item. That's why, like, the cosmetics don't work on them. Do giveaways for it? Yeah. I should. Maybe I'll make that a point sometime soon to do another drop in the game worlds and give out some of those things. No, Iron Defender. I have a daily dice roll, it's killing me. I know, right? I get that actually sometimes on the stream. People are like, do it! How can it sit there? Yeah. Same with mail. I tend to be real, I just sort of let that stuff go. I know I'm terrible. When is the next event? Is that going to be Crystal Cove? Yeah, I think so. And as far as when, I would actually need to check with Tolero on that. But I think we're looking at generally within the next couple of months here.
The last portal winks out of existence.
Good.
You, the Loths in Amrath, will be pleased to learn that the Devils will no longer be able to use this space as a transfer point.
Ooh. That's kind of interesting. Belt of the Defender of Cerberus. Back in the day, that was kind of well enjoyed for both Greater False Life and Con 6. You know, I will actually take that belt if you don't want it. Will be definitely better than my mid-level 5 Proof Against Disease +6 belt that I'm currently wearing. In case you wonder why this guy's gear is such crap, this character was created for the DDO Cast Build Guild, which had a very strict gear acquisition system. We could only use what we found in chests. So there was no auction house, no twinking, no shared account bank, no vendors, only what you got in chests. And that's the result.
In a massive crater, a relic of some ancient magical battle.
Why don't we do, is it Wrath of the Flame that's over this way? That should time out pretty well to 1 o'clock, I think.
The crumbling bones of the long dead litter them. Countless warriors have died between the narrow canyon walls of this choke point.
What is my oldest character? That would be Armagh over on Khyber. That character was made in June of 2006. Originally that was the old Beefheart the Vegetarian. Had to get renamed back in the day when I got hired at Turbine, because at the time there was a rule against playing publicly. That rule has since sort of gone away, of course, but back in 2010 that was the state of things. So I had to rename him because he was on a bunch of people's friends lists. I couldn't stay on friends lists. Oh. Weapon shipment, actually. Could someone share that with me by any chance? Excellent, thank you. Updated with new stuff in Crystal Cove? Probably not, sorry. But it is on our list of things to do. Won't be for this time, but maybe next time, hopefully. We'll see. Titan. Jerry, what was I doing at the age of 22? I was wrapping up my college tenure prior to graduation. I was in a band, and I guess around this time of the year I was kicking off our spring and summer music festival tour. So I was in a van for most of that spring and summer, touring around the Midwest, doing hippie festivals and rock events, things like that. Playing gigs with the band. A lot of band practice, things like that. It's a good time. Very good time. But, like I said, I didn't actually do well at the college thing, though. sort of chose to do that rather than study. I know I'm a failure. Except, whatever. Life will do its own thing sometimes. You never quite know how everything's going to work out. What instrument? Bass guitar, keyboard, and flute. We were a band of about 7 or 8 people. Had a rotating cast. It was a fairly big group. It's kind of jam bandy sort of things, but less Grateful Dead, more Hawkwind / Ozric Tentacles, if you are familiar with either of those particular bands. A couple of keyboard players, couple of guitarists, couple of world music instrument folks, sampler even at some point. Kind of depended who was around doing different things for different gigs. We used to open up for a band that actually ended up becoming moderately well known among the sort of concert scene. The Big Woo. Have you ever heard of the Big Woo? We used to open up for them. This would have been, what, 96? So they hadn't really taken off yet, but... what was the in-game Easter egg in DDO that Steel Star mentioned nobody has found? Well, I can't give that away. Actually, I don't even know. Steel Star won't tell me either. I literally do not know what that Easter egg is either. Do I feel old? Yes. Think about it this way, Nadia saying, I rolled a 2 and a 4 on silver and gold daily dice. It's saving those good loot rolls for chests. So you're bound to get, you know, +7 tomes and stuff. Nice, Ladon and Terran over on Facebook. It's really interesting. This week I've started to stream on Facebook as well. I wasn't sure that I could do both Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and run the game client, and run XSplit, and have a bunch of windows open at the same time. But hey, this computer can handle it. And so far the stream quality's been just fine on all 3 streams. So it's been kind of nice to be able to do that. I should stream a concert. I haven't been in bands in a while. Last band I was in Indianapolis. The last album was, I guess, geez, almost a decade ago now. Would have been 2007. Moto Sota. M-O-T-O-S-O-T-A. We actually have some tunes online, if you feel like Googling it. We posted up both of our albums, all 3 of our albums, on archive.org. Just available under a Creative Commons license. Which is, incidentally, how it got into the video game Rock Band Manager, which was a not particularly successful PC game that came out, I guess, in 2010, 2011, something like that. It's kind of in the height of the Rock Band craze. Someone had done a sim version of basically being a simming a rock band, and they had approached me at the time saying, hey, you've got these songs, they're Creative Commons, do you mind if we use them? And we're like, heck yeah, go for it, dude. So it ended up in this video game that you can now find at like Savers, Big Lots, that kind of thing. So if you ever see Rock Band Manager, I've got a couple of songs in it. But this band that I'm talking about that I was on tour with, we never... I mean, this is 96, right? So it even really predates the wide use of CDRs. Certainly predates, you know, the whole internet band craze. None of that stuff ever really got saved. I've got some old audio cassettes. And we have some old reel-to-reel recordings of some of the concerts and that, but they've never really been digitized and put online. Sound quality was not always great, right? We were not really a studio band. We were a live group, so you don't really have too much in the way of recordings. I have one that I listen to every now and then when I want to reminisce. But even that was transferred from an old audio cassette, so the sound quality is starting to deteriorate over time. Kind of a bummer. Those old bands, you know, it was a different world back then. People, bands nowadays are a little spoiled with sort of home studios and Audacity and all the rest. You can do things that you could just never do back then. Or couldn't do cheaply, I should say. I mean, we could have paid for studio time, but it just wasn't really how things worked back then. Did we ever make it into Hijinks magazine? No. We might have made it into High Times. But, I don't know if I should really mention that. It was a while ago. It was quite a while ago. We were all different people back then. I was 22, as Titan points out. That was a long time ago. No, the hippie band, actually, that I'm talking about, the one from '96, that was actually in Minnesota, is where we were based out of then. I wasn't in Indianapolis until 2002, 2003. We used to play a lot in the Minneapolis area, and then, like I said, a lot of the kind of just sort of weekend, smaller kind of 3-day hippie fests that were really big at the time. I think they still go on, but particularly at that time there was a lot more of it. Yeah. We were never a super popular band. We tended to be the kind that were early on in the show, rather than, say, headliners, things like that. But like I said, we were part of a package with the Big Woo was the headliner at that time. We used to play with Big Woo, God, what's the guy's name? J.B. Layton? Kind of a blues rock guy? A few others.
The great Plains Gate finally opens.
I know what an 8-track player is, are you kidding me? Yeah. We should get to digitizing it before it's lost forever. Unfortunately, that's the problem. Some other band members have higher quality recordings than I have, but all I ever was able to personally have was some old audio cassettes. And by the time I digitized them, and I guess it was 2002, 2003, you know, they'd been played to death out of in a car and such. So they already were in not the greatest shape when I turned them into CDs. And then that initial version of CDs had been used. Just kind of got scratched up on that because I was kind of an idiot. Like, I just haven't really thought about that stuff. And so the final, quote, version I've got of these tracks actually dates from about 2006, 2007. And by that time, the audio cassette was about a decade old and had some hiss and things like that. So unfortunately, it's somewhat relegated to memory. I've got a couple of tracks that I don't mind listening to, but they're not really the kind of thing that you could put out, you know, to a wider audience. It's kind of a bummer, but hey, it's like I say, that's sort of the way things go. Cool, Devil's Keepsake. I'm not alone in that. Only 90s kids will understand, I believe they say. Cool. What is a CD? Just get the band back together? Well, that was a long time ago, like I said. I don't even know where most of those dudes are anymore. Dudes and ladies. It was a mixed group. I heard that one was in the theater in Minneapolis at one point. I heard one guy was a guitar teacher. I just lost track of all the rest of them. It was a long time ago. Did we ever open for any of the old obscure grunge bands? Not in that band, but if I really want to go back to the memory hole, I was in a band in 93 and 94. This was before that hippie band called The Flat Earth. We were based out of northern Iowa, where I was a freshman in college. Yes, I was a freshman in college in 1993. And, I was in a band called The Flat Earth, and we opened up for Mudhoney, and when they did their local show in Iowa City that year. So I have actually opened up for Mudhoney back in the day. And they were about as grunge as it gets. Hyperdorian, we did play out in Indianapolis quite a bit. That band in particular was a fusion sort of jazz rock thing. We did a lot of art gigs. We did Orange. If you are from Indianapolis, maybe you know what Orange is. We played quite a bit at... Oh, I can't even remember the name of the place anymore. It was over on North Meridian, one of the bars there that used to do a lot of live music. Yep. Yep, I played Orange. Cool, cool. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we were the first 3 years Orange was on. We did that show. The Patio, the Vogue? No, we never played the Vogue. We did play the Patio, but no, it was the one that was actually down the road and across from that. It was wish I could remember. It was like kind of across the street down the road from a pizza place. Can't remember the name of it. Sorry. We also did some gigs downtown. I can't remember some of the big venues down there anymore either. It's been a while, but we never got to play like the Jazz Kitchen or anything. But we did get to play, say, mostly more kind of rocky bars because we were a little bit too jazz for the rock clubs, and we were a little bit too rock for the jazz clubs, and so we ended up kind of being in this weird middle ground where I don't know. It was a little hard to get gigs, but we ended up kind of finding some in the art scene, and did fairly well there. Played that place in Fountain Square, too. I can't think of the name of it now, but yeah. I'll remember at 3 a.m. Yeah, probably. Yeah. All right, that's going to wrap it up here then for the Friday afternoon here on twitch.tv/DDOstream and youtube.com/DungeonsandDragons/live, along with Facebook.com/DDOUnlimited. Thank you for letting me ramble on off topic here today. Radio, yes. Thank you, Hyperdorian. Anyway, sorry for rambling. You guys don't care about this stuff. You're here for DDO. I will be here next Wednesday at noon for the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. We do have a full schedule of events. You can find our full live stream schedule over on the Twitch page. Hope you have a great XP weekend. Plus 5% XP for every member in the party other than yourself. And we'll be back next week as well with some more Q&A and things like that. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.